Good evening and welcome. We are coming to you live from Stockton University's Atlantic City campus. My name is Alyssa Maurice, Assistant Director of the William J. Hughes Center for Public Policy here at Stockton. I'm joined by my co-moderator, Buzz Keogh, Executive Editor for the Press of Atlantic City. The Hughes Center and the Press are proud to be sponsoring tonight's debate between the candidates for Atlantic City Mayor. We are joined by a public audience here in the room with us, and this event is being streamed live to both the Hughes Center and the Press of Atlantic City's websites. So thank you to the viewers watching from home. I want to welcome our candidates. To your left is Democratic incumbent Mayor Marty Small Sr., and to your right is Republican challenger Naeem Khan. Each candidate will have 1 minute to respond to direct questions and 30 seconds for follow-up responses as appropriate. Each question will go to both candidates unless otherwise specified. We want to get to as many issues as possible, so in an effort to keep things moving along, candidates, please be mindful of the time clock. And for the audience in the room with us, please refrain from any applause until the end of the debate. The Hughes Center is committed to providing a forum for civil discourse and policy debate, so thank you to both candidates for participating and engaging with voters directly as part of the democratic process. Let's begin. The order tonight was predetermined with the candidates. Mr. Khan, you have 1 minute for your opening statement.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to be here. I want to thank the Stockton University for hosting this great event, and I want to thank the Press of Atlantic City for sponsoring this debate. My name is Naeem Khan. As a lot of you guys know me, that I own Garden State Fields. I started my life as a gas attendant. Slowly, I built my life. I bought the business, then I bought the property. And now, thank goodness that I own an oil company that is located on the same place behind the gas station. I have multiple properties in Atlantic City. I do real estate. I have a good experience in business, and I want to transfer that experience to the people of Atlantic City. And I'm asking them for support to give me a chance to serve this city and make better lives for the residents of Atlantic City and the whole county, because Atlantic City means the whole county. If the Atlantic City is doing good, the whole county is doing good. So that's why I'm asking to support column A all the way on November 4. Thank you.
Mr. Small, you may begin your 1 minute opening statement.
Yes, I'm Mayor Marty Small Sr., Mayor of the great city of Atlantic City. I like to say that I'm Atlantic City born, I'm Atlantic City bred, and when I die, I'll be Atlantic City dead. I love this city, and I think it's important that the mayor lives in the city. 23 straight years from school board to city council and 6 years as mayor, I've been elected uninterrupted service by the people of Atlantic City. The people believe in me. Professionally, I started out as a social caseworker, then ran a state program, then the Boys and Girls Club, then the school system, and 1 year at Principal Academy Charter. That was all part-time while I served the city's 2nd Ward as a councilman for almost 16 years. Just the last 6 years, I've been the full-time mayor in the great city of Atlantic City. We've excelled in property tax relief. We've excelled in senior and youth programs, multicultural programs, LGBTQ+. We kept the city clean and safe, and new investment is coming here to the great city like never before. People always said that no one would invest private money, and all this development is happening under the small administration. Betafield, K. Hovnanian, the Kushner Project, just to name a few, and we would like 4 more years to continue our progress.
Thank you.
The first question goes to Mr. Khan. Under your leadership, what steps will city government take to increase educational, recreational, or employment opportunities for the young people of Atlantic City?
Well, we have to build a strong economy, because as you see, we're good in summer because we have a lot of tourists in Atlantic City that come in. But in winter, it gets a little slow, because of the ocean, and it's not too many people come in Atlantic City. So I think we have to build a strong economy locally besides the casinos, so we can have the opportunity for the people. They don't leave Atlantic City. As you've seen for the last 10, 15 years, the residents are getting less. We used to have about 50,000 population. Now we have about 40,000 population. It's because the local economy is not that strong. And a lot of as the cab drivers here, as the casino workers, they see they've been getting laid off because not too many tourists come here in the winter. So I think if we build a strong local economy, that can create a lot of jobs for youth and everybody in Atlantic City.
Thank you.
Buzz, can you repeat
Same-
the question again, please?
Under your leadership, what steps will the city government take to increase educational, recreational, or employment opportunities for young people in Atlantic City?
Yes, Buzz, we're going to continue what we've done. We don't have to worry about being prepared because we've been prepared. We've been doing the job. As far as education for residents, we've taught this great city of Atlantic City's residents for free how to invest. We have the Mayor's Office Small Business Academy. We have Great Day University, the School of Financial Wellness, which is going to show the residents how to improve their credit as well as financial wellness with a full financial plan. Recreation. Another mayor thought it was robbery to take the recreation department away. Mayor Small has brought the recreation department back better and bigger than ever. We also have youth services. As far as jobs, we've been creating jobs. Jobs are up in this economy. People are getting great opportunities in city government to expand the services of the residents that has never, ever, ever happened before. We have young professionals in good positions here in the great city of Atlantic City, and they're all from Atlantic City, and we're going to continue that progress that we've always done for the people of Atlantic City.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please refrain from applause until the end. We want to make sure viewers at home are able to hear all the candidates, and we want to get to as many issues as we can. So please hold any applause. Atlantic City's reliance on the casino and tourism industries makes it vulnerable to market fluctuations. What strategies would you pursue to diversify the city's economic base? And we'll start with Mr. Khan.
Can you repeat the question again?
Atlantic City's reliance on the casino and tourism industries makes it vulnerable to market fluctuations. What strategies would you pursue to diversify the city's economic base?
Well, the same problem is the tourism not come so many. Number one, the people don't feel safe here. Once, like a lot of the people, they come to Atlantic City, they go in the casinos, they stay in the casinos, and they take the Atlantic City Expressway and they go back. So the people have to feel safe to have invest in Atlantic City. And that the safety is a main concern in Atlantic City. So as a mayor, we have to make sure that everybody that comes here, they feel safe. And we have to have more programs. We have to create jobs. We have to have some strategy that we should be not with too much rely on casinos. We have to do things that we shouldn't have always rely on the casinos. That's why I'm saying we need to bring more people here so we can have the more job opportunities for the residents of Atlantic City.
Mr. Small.
Well, that wasn't the question. We talked about diversifying the economy. We've done that in a big way by not being afraid to introduce new industries here in the great city of Atlantic City. More importantly, we know with neighboring competition that we need to bring family entertainment here, and this all has happened under my watch. North Beach Mini Golf in the Inlet has happened under Mayor Small. The world's largest indoor water park has happened under Mayor Small's watch, $100 million investment. And if people didn't believe that the city was safe and didn't believe in government, they wouldn't invest a penny because investment wasn't going on until I took the mayor's office. You're talking about a $3.4 billion project down the street. You're talking about a national reputable developer, K. Hovnanian, building homes here, over 300 homes. You're talking about the Kushner family, a national reputable developer. So this and more, we've always diversified the economy, and we showed up in a big way. And by the way, men, women, political numbers lie, but the numbers and facts don't. The city is clean, and the city is safe.
Thank you.
This question goes to Mr. Khan. What actions in the city administration can take to enforce affordable housing stock in Atlantic City and ensure quality living conditions for its occupants?
Well, you've seen what happened with the Stanley Homes, and that's because the mayor talks about that he's doing a great job. Then why did the Stanley Homes was dealt like that, and why did the federal government has to take over for the housing society? And I've been doing a lot of campaigning, and I was going to the Maryland Avenue apartments back there, and I think we have to take care of those, otherwise there's going to be a second Stanley Homes. So a lot of the houses in Atlantic City, we have a lot of the departments here. We need to go and check each and every house is in a good condition, or as a mayor, it's your job to see if any older homes have been here for over 100 years. We should go, as a government, go and inspect all the houses, and if they need any help, because we take the property taxes from them, and if they can't fix something, we as a government should fix for the people of Atlantic City.
Thank you.
Same question to you, Mr. Small, about affordable housing.
Okay, first of all, the residents of Stanley Homes are not paying property taxes. Stanley Homes is an Atlantic City Housing Authority issue, which is the federal government. Nothing to do with the great city of Atlantic City. I guess because he's a stranger to the neighborhood, he would go back Maryland and try to scare the folks at back Maryland and say that back Maryland is next. If you knew what you were talking about, Mr. Khan, back Maryland, the land that back Maryland is on, all of those housing developments are deeded in perpetuity for affordable housing. I dealt with that rumor when I served back Maryland for almost 16 years, when people said that the Borgata was going to put a golf course there and everything. That land is deeded in perpetuity. And as far as improving the housing stock, look at the development that's happening under the small administration, from small developers, medium developers, and large. And just to let you know that 2 publications rated the great city of Atlantic City 10 and number 15 in the country in housing growth. The taxes are lowered and development is up under the small administration, 6 straight
Thank you.
years.
We're moving on to leadership. Mr. Small, you're currently facing criminal charges. Understanding that you're entitled to due process and you've maintained your innocence, how will you handle your duties as mayor if the trial results in a conviction or otherwise limits your ability to serve? What would you say to voters who question whether the charges compromise your ability to lead effectively?
Well, the day that I found out that I was charged, I went on lunch break and I came back. The day when they unfortunately and sensationalized a raid on my home, I made sure my wife was fine. I went back to work. The residents of Atlantic City know me, and I haven't skipped a beat. That's how you know your leader can handle a crisis. I've handled the city's crisis through COVID, and I'm handling a personal crisis through myself. 63% of the people voted for Mayor Small, and 63% or more is going to reelect me. So there's no question who that leader is. I show up to work each and every day, and I'm more motivated than ever. You know why? Because a leader knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And the great city of Atlantic City, as an organization, has never excelled like it has under Mayor Small's leadership, in spite of the politically charged charges that we will overwhelmingly win in court when we have our day. Thank you.
Please refrain from any applause. We want to keep things moving.
Say
Mr.
what?
Khan, that was a message to the audience. Yes, please refrain from any applause. We want to make sure we get to as many issues as we can. Mr. Khan, you've never held public office. What would you say to voters who question whether someone without any government experience can effectively manage the complexities of running a major city? And why should voters trust you to learn on the job?
Well, yes, I have never run the office before, but the current administration, who has run the office for the last 6 years and been on a city council for over 15 years, have seen how the city is being right now. If you guys don't believe me, come with me right now and walk on Atlantic Avenue, and you see how bad the Atlantic City is. You see the tourists don't come because they don't feel safe. I want to ask the question to the audience right now. Do they will allow their daughters to walk on Atlantic Avenue right now, to go to any convenience store, and will they feel safe?
Please continue.
So that's why, well, they need to come and walk with me, and then we'll make that decision. But that's why I think that I have a good business record, and yes, I'm new to this, but it's not a rocket science. You can fix things if you want to.
Thank you. We're going to move on now to
Do I
public
get a
safety
rebuttal?
perceptions.
Don't I get 30 seconds for a rebuttal?
Only when you're mentioned directly by name. So we're going to just move on to public safety perceptions for this next question. It's going to go to both of you, so you can address it in that answer.
Crime in Atlantic City has declined steadily in recent years. However, public perception remains an issue with some residents and tourists who still feel uneasy. What do you believe is the best way to address those fears?
And we'll start with Mr. Small.
Well, we've been addressing it. And as you said, the numbers don't lie. Men, women, political opportunists, and my opponent lie about the safety of Atlantic City, but the numbers and facts don't. It's just simple. It's simple numbers. And when you get down to it, the city is safe and the city is clean, and perception isn't always reality. Under my leadership, we've hired more officers, we promoted more officers, we improved the supervisory ranks, we put the police force at a number that was acceptable to the police chief. He wanted 330, he's at 328. We've gotten promotional opportunities. We gave minority representation opportunities. Under my watch, the Atlantic City Police Department is now a majority minority department. Now let's talk about the investment. $5.8 million of non-taxpayers' money for a citywide camera program. We got license plate readers installed at every entry and exit here in the great city of Atlantic City. And the 3 murders that we had, the city of Atlantic City's cameras helped capture it all on tape.
Same question to you, Mr. Khan.
Can you repeat the question?
Crime in Atlantic City has declined steadily in recent years. However, public perception remains an issue with some residents and tourists feeling uneasy. What do you believe is the best way to address those fears?
Well, I think a lot of the crime doesn't get reported because a lot of people, like you have seen, if a guy comes to your store and takes some stuff and you call the police, a lot of times the police don't even show up. And it's a problem in Atlantic City. And also, if you see, a lot of people don't believe that if I'm going to file the complaint, something is going to happen. So as you see the article, the Atlantic City is number 2nd in the whole state right now, has the most crime in whole New Jersey. And it's an article. I think it was in the press too. So a lot of people, I don't think they report the crime. So if the people start reporting the crime, you will see the real numbers that come out.
Can I rebut? I mean, you did mention
We'll
the current
have,
situation.
since this is a hot topic between the both of you, we'll have a follow-up for each. Go ahead.
Yes, well, first of all, talking about Atlantic Avenue, the only reason that he's on Atlantic Avenue is because his campaign headquarters is there. He hasn't been on Atlantic Avenue or any other neighborhood in the great city of Atlantic City. As far as crime in stores, you have people on Atlantic Avenue who are enablers that let people sell drugs in and out their store. It was Mayor Small's aggressive action that cut the business hours, but people on city council wanted to play politics and overrule it. Again, that is leadership, ladies and gentlemen, and my public safety record is bar none.
Thank you. Mr. Khan, would you like a follow-up on
See,
this?
he just said that they have to cut the hours. You tell me a guy who has expended hundreds of $1,000s to invest in a store, is that his job to protect the store? Then why are we paying taxes? Does he knows that how much is the rent? Did he went and talk to the store owners? What's gonna affect that we close your stores at 10 o'clock? What the impact you're gonna get on your sales? How you gonna pay your rent? How you gonna pay your electric? Just because it happened, it's your job to protect the store owners as a mayor.
We're going to continue because these next 2 questions are actually also on this topic, so we're going to move on.
These next 2 questions are directly from the readers of Press of Atlantic City. The first addresses food security in the city. Are CREDA's plans for the Renaissance Plaza sufficient to guarantee there will be a supermarket to replace the existing Save-A-Lot, and also ensure that there are no impediments to residents safely accessing the store? Currently, there's a presence of a liquor store and loitering outside that deters people from going there. We'll start with you, Mr.
Okay.
Small.
That's a fair question, but once again, Atlantic City's problems are big, but the solution is small. I have full faith in CRDA, where I'm a board member at. CRDA has taken the possession of Renaissance Plaza, and the plan is to make Renaissance Plaza into a beauty. Yes, we have issues, but however, we use $3 million grant to police Atlantic, Pacific Avenue, and the Renaissance Plaza area. Unfortunately, when we move the homeless from there, they go to another area. And people need to know and understand it's easier said than done when you're talking about our less fortunate people. If you ask them, do they want service, and they say no, that is absolutely nothing that you can do. As far as CRDA, we all know what happened with the grocery store with ShopRite. They asked for $18 million subsidy. They agreed. After COVID, they wanted 36. But the Renaissance Plaza liquor store will be gone. The Family Dollar will be gone. It'll be enhanced security. Save-A-Lot will have a new operator by the end of the month, and Atlantic City residents have a grocery store that they can be a proud of.
Thank you.
Well, again, why did the ShopRite didn't come? Because they know that the crime rate in Atlantic City is not safe to build, because they know how much theft is going to happen. That's why the ShopRite didn't come, and it's really unfair to the residents of Atlantic City that there is not a single grocery store, a real supermarket in Atlantic City. And me, if God give me a chance to serve the people of Atlantic City, we will have a grocery store and a nice supermarket so people don't have to go other cities to get the fresh meat, the fresh deli, and everything that the people need. We should have it in Atlantic City.
I can rebut.
This is another reader. I want to get to the next reader submitted question. So, should Atlantic City deploy more foot patrol officers in every ward, similar to efforts in the tourism zones? Why or why not? We're going to start with you.
Well, Chief Sarko, if he was standing right here, he would tell you that I said Atlantic City can't just be about the tourism district. Our priority needs to be the neighborhood. We giving the police officers the requisite number that they required. It is important, I believe, that we got the best police department in the world. No other area gets the calls of service that Atlantic City does. We went from having lines wrapped around city council where people were complaining about police brutality to no force of action by the Atlantic City Police Department. We've come a long way. We've adopted that community philosophy. Could we be better at walking beats and deployment? That's always a work in progress, but we are right there making sure that it happens. Again, with Mayor Small, you don't have to worry about a wing and a prayer or hoping what someone is going to do. You're going to look at my record of public service in the city for supporting all city employees and making sure that they have the tools that are equipped to succeed and conducive to good public safety.
Same question to you.
See, in Atlantic City, that's what I said in the beginning, the people don't feel safe because I think we are about 100 cops short. We need to have, that's why we want to audit and we want to see where we can save the money and we can have more police officers. And that's going to help the residents of Atlantic City when you see, okay, I'm not saying there should be a cop on every block, but we should have enough police presence that people feel safe. And once the people will feel safe, everything will come out. The economy, everything will get better once the people start feeling safe. And the police is I'm not saying that they're doing a bad job, but they need more help. They need more officers. I think we are about 100 police officers short, and we need to hire them. We need to hire them so people feel safe in Atlantic City.
All right, I think I should have a chance to rebut because he's speaking a lot of non-factual issues and you're just letting them just talk.
We'll have a follow-up for each. The rebuttals are for when someone is directly attacked by name.
He's directly saying that Atlantic City is not safe. That's all he's been saying all night.
Let's have a follow-up for each on this.
Okay.
If you want to continue on this topic.
Okay, yes. So as far as the negativity, why do you want to run for mayor, Mr. Khan, when everything out of your mouth is Atlantic City's not safe, Atlantic City's not clean? It's easier said than done when you make a crazy statement that we should hire 100 more police officers. Who is going to pay for it? Mayor Small has kept the taxes down for 6 straight years, going on 7 next year. And the fact that you keep complaining about different things and saying that the city is not clean and safe, that doesn't bode well for your chances. Come up with a plan. As far as an audit, we have an internal audit every year, and it's also audited by the state, as well as Moody's and Standard & Poor's of Wall Street. So you don't know what you're talking about when you say that you would do an audit.
Seconds. So, Mr. Khan.
Did you read that article that the state just said that we're going to have a 14% increase on the taxes next year, starting next year? I think people have read all that, and he's talking about that I don't know what I'm talking about. The facts don't lie. It's the article. Why he did not sue that article? Why did they lie about that article that it's going to be increasing 40%? Is that a lie? He should come up and say that's a lie. Why did that article came? The starting next year, it's going to be 14% increase on taxes.
We're going to have some questions about fiscal policy later, so we are going to get back to this. So for now, we're going to move on to the next topic.
No problem.
The next topic is vacant or abandoned properties. A recent presentation to City Council urged the city to more aggressively enforce existing laws to hold owners accountable for vacant properties so that out-of-town property owners are not leaving taxpayers to shoulder cleanup and safety costs. Mr. Khan, the question to you is, how would you encourage better upkeep of abandoned or vacant properties to address visible signs of neglect?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
The premise of the question.
I'm sorry, I was drinking water, yeah.
A recent presentation to City Council urged the city to more aggressively enforce existing laws to hold owners accountable for vacant properties so that out-of-town property owners are not leaving taxpayers to shoulder the cleanup costs and safety costs. The question, how would you encourage better upkeep of abandoned or vacant properties to address visible signs of neglect?
Well, you've seen, it was an article, it's about more than 1,000 properties are vacant right now. And as I said it before, we take property taxes. We need to have a team that goes to the people of Atlantic City and asks them, is your financials are okay? Do you need any help? This is the mayor's job. What else the mayor is just gonna come and say, great day, great day? It's not gonna work like that. And you have to have a plan. You have to go and talk to the residents that, hey, I think this doesn't look good. You just don't start giving them tickets, because a lot of the people can't afford to remodel their homes. We take property taxes from the people. That's why if they cannot afford it, we should help them, and we should have a budget for that. And we should help the people to fix their properties.
Mr. Small, the question to you is, why hasn't the city more fully used tools like the Abandoned Properties Act or the Vacant Property Registration Program? And how would you plan to strengthen enforcement?
First of all, the city has used the tools that we have to succeed. And once again, my opponent is clearly out of his league talking about lowering the taxes or making the city pay for people to upkeep their property. As a homeowner that lives in Atlantic City, which my opponent doesn't, you should take pride in your personal property that you own, be it where you live, your investment property, and more. We have a great code enforcement department under the direction of Adele Finch and Sears Wright, and our code enforcement officers do a tremendous job. And we do give them the tools to succeed. And you have to remember, all properties in the great city of Atlantic City aren't owned by the great city of Atlantic City. There's private owners, and we do a clean and lean program. If people don't cut their grass in a timely manner, or if people's property is out of whack, if people don't want to deal with the consequences of not upkeeping their property and make Atlantic City beautiful, that's on them. They have to pay the fine.
Thank you.
But can I respond to he personally attacked me that I don't live in Atlantic City.
Let's have one 30-second follow-up here, and then we're going to move on to some questions about fiscal policy.
Even in the last debate, I offered him that he can come to my house for dinner that night. I'm going to offer him again tonight in front of everybody, so I can show him the way do I live. He's keep bringing up this, like he's accusing me that I don't know anything. He doesn't know either that I live in Atlantic City. I think some people are just putting in his brain that I don't live here. And that is wrong. Even tonight, after the debate, you're welcome to my house.
All right, what's on the menu?
What you like? You're my guest.
Thank you.
What you want, a steak?
All right, I'll stay tonight.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you both. Moving on to State Aid here. So Atlantic City has been under state oversight since 2016.
And
Since
you can
then,
bring your
New
wife
Jersey
too.
has provided Atlantic City with more than
cook
$800
for
million
you.
in aid. We want to make sure we're able to hear this question here. So Atlantic City has been under state oversight since 2016. Since then, New Jersey has provided Atlantic City with more than $800 million in aid to stabilize its finances. State aid is in question, with Republican gubernatorial candidate Jack Ciattarelli saying he would not apply the annual, quote, fiscal Band-Aid to major cities in New Jersey. How do you plan to deal with the potential loss of state funding?
Well, first of all, as a person that lived through the state takeover since its inception, when I was a city council president, I worked with the other side, Chris Christie, who we were in a fight with Chris Christie and Steve Sweeney. But when we lost, we started working together because it was for the betterment of Atlantic City. We're going to continue to do things like wane off of transitional aid like we have done each and every year. The city's finances are as stable as ever. And when Moody's and Standard & Poor's, an independent Wall Street agencies who has wrote horrific reports about the great city of Atlantic City, they praised our finances. When we go under review this year, we're a step below investment grade. We will be investment grade. We don't need to go to the market. But you rather have options and not need them than need options and not have them. And that's how far the city's finances has come. And Wall Street, Moody's and Standard & Poor's has said that the turnaround of Atlantic City is improved management of the city under the small administration. And that's in black and white.
Mr. Khan, same question to you.
Well, he's been mayor for 6 years, and the state has been taken over while he's mayor. I want to ask him why he has not, so that we shouldn't be dependent on the state. Yes, we have CRDA that is doing a good job, but why is the state, why we have not done a good budget that we don't need the state funding anymore? And people of Atlantic City suffer because of the state takeover. And he's right, sometimes I feel that he cannot make some decisions because of the state. But why in the 6 years he has not done that we don't have to worry about the state takeover and we should be independent? And that's why I'm running, that we should have a budget that we know how much the money is coming and how much is money going out, so we don't need help from the state. And of course, state should help if we need their help, but we should have an independent city, and we haven't had it for the last 6 years.
Would you like to follow up?
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you, I
30-second
appreciate that. First of all, I am running the city, and if anyone that knows that law, which is measure the state takeover, is not being implemented because the state of New Jersey believes in me. Secondly, I'm offended as a longtime Atlantic City resident who, according to the state's own report, watched $154.5 million leave the great city of Atlantic City and go to other places in New Jersey. The state should be doing more for Atlantic City. We should get more. We don't get luxury tax. We don't get parking tax, and we don't get a penny off a multi-billion-dollar industry called sports gaming that Mayor Small was up front on since he was a councilman.
Let's do a quick 30 seconds on these next two questions because you both pretty much answered it. But Mr. Small, unless extended, the state oversight is set to expire next year. Do you believe Atlantic City is ready to manage its finances independently?
Yes. As you see, we're getting things done like never before. Lowered the taxes 6 straight years. Implemented new departments. Spending is down and programming is up. This administration has invested in human capital. Being the mayor is not just showing up and taking pictures. I have the fiscal management responsibility as I've been in charge of organizations and departments, and I've excelled everywhere I've been. And you see all of these people, some city employees, the city has never been better as far as investing in human capital, and that's all happened under my watch.
Mr. Khan, a quick 30 seconds on this. How would you handle the end of state oversight? Do you support an immediate full return to local control or a phased approach?
I think we should be independent. I support that we should be independent, and why we have not done for the last 6 years. That's why is you saying you'll be doing so good?
It's something called legislation.
But why?
Do you know what legislation is?
Yeah. So
what is
why,
it?
So but why does
What is it?
No. My point is why you have not done it.
What is? I'm under legislation, but it's not being implemented. Again, do you know what
No,
legislation
but
is?
why is have not implemented? That's my
Do
question.
you know what legislation is?
Okay.
Forget about that. I'm asking you
Let's-
why you have not done
Let's
it.
move on. We're going to move on to a question on taxes. And I know you both mentioned this already in previous answers, so let's move on to this topic.
Atlantic City's $280 million budget was approved in August by the state's local finance board, marking the 6th straight year of a property tax decrease.
Thank you.
Mr. Small, you praised the relief for taxpayers, but one member of the local finance board said he was concerned that continued cuts could create instability and lead to sharp tax increases in coming years. How do you plan to maintain stable city finances and avoid future tax spikes while continuing to offer relief to residents who have been suffering from high property taxes?
Well, Buzz, I thank you for that softball. The number one priority that I said would be the taxpayers. In addition to 6 straight years of property tax decreases, I'm the only mayor in the history of Atlantic City to give money back to the taxpayers. And all you taxpayers here, no matter what side you're on, you do remember the form you filled out and got $500 from the great city of Atlantic City. I take exception to that person, and if you were on the meeting, you heard me take him to task. Who in the hell is he to say that the residents of Atlantic City and question why everyone else is up and Atlantic City is down? It's called fiscal responsibility. It's called leadership. It's called commitment to your taxpayers. It's meaning saying what you mean and mean what you say. And no disrespect to any municipality near and far. I don't care about what their taxes are. My responsibility is with the people of Atlantic City, and I've shown the last 6 years that the taxes have been down. You name me another mayor who has a financial record like that.
Thank you. Mr. Khan, the question to you is, if elected, would you prioritize continued tax cuts for residents, or would you focus on long-term fiscal stability, even if that means holding or raising taxes?
Well, as I asked him before, why did that article came that next year we're going to have 14% increase? So I have a team. We're going to come up with the team. We're going to have a plan for that. But we should not raise any taxes for the residents of Atlantic City because they're already suffering a lot. Look at the businesses. We don't have enough businesses here. And we have 1,000 vacant property because people are leaving Atlantic City. So there's no way that we should increase any taxes. We should lower taxes for the residents of Atlantic City. But the number one question is, why is the next year the 14% increase is happening?
Moving on to homelessness. Stockton students living in Atlantic City who have witnessed police ask homeless people to leave public spaces have expressed concern over where the homeless are expected to go and what resources are available to them. When crafting policy related to homelessness, how do you balance the need for public safety and positive perceptions of the city with support and dignity for the homeless?
All right, listen, homelessness is an issue. It's not only an issue here in Atlantic City, it's an issue everywhere. But let the record reflect that I'm the only mayor in the history of the great city of Atlantic City to come up with a plan for the homelessness. You have to know and understand. We can go out there right now and find somebody that's homeless, and we can say, hey, we got a bed for you tonight. We got services to start for you tomorrow. And if they utter the word N-O, there's nothing that we can do. We got the guys and the gals each and every day going in areas that you wouldn't think about going in to try to assist the homeless, under the boardwalk, deep into alleys and all over the city, and they do a fantastic job. While others talked about it, Mayor Small was about it. During the recent storm, we had a shelter at the convention center for Atlantic City residents that need to get to higher ground if necessary, and the homeless population, and we fed them 3 meals a day, and we had service providers there. That's real leadership, and I was on the ground and in the trenches with them, as I've always been in this community.
Thank you. Same question to you, Mr. Khan.
See, he's again saying that I am doing this, but why we have so many homelesses outside? We have to first identify how many homeless we have in Atlantic City. There are so many. Go to Kentucky Avenue right now. Go past the Kentucky Avenue. You have seen they even have the camps there now. Yes, when the storm came, he took care of them. I see on the convention center, there was beds there. Why can't we have that permanent for them? And number two, we don't know. We have to take care of the homeless. We can't just leave them on the street. You have to identify how many homeless we have. We should have a number that how many. We can't just have renter people coming and walking on Atlantic City and we don't know, and then we say, oh, it's not my fault. They've been coming from, everything is the government fault when you are running a government. You can't have an excuse that, oh, they've been coming from somewhere. It's not my fault. No, it's not true, Mr. Mayor.
Can I rebut?
30-second follow-up here?
Yes, I want to make this crystal clear to everybody, and including my opponent. We do suffer from Greyhound therapy. You're probably just learning that because you're running for mayor. Far too long, municipalities near and far has sent their less fortunate here to the great city of Atlantic City and put a strain on our infrastructure. We do know, because Mayor Small brought the Department of Health and Human Services back, we do know the numbers of the homeless here in the great city of Atlantic City. We do know where they hang out because, again, I'm the only mayor to ever address the situation. And it's a continual work in progress, ladies and gentlemen, but we're on the job per usual.
Thank you.
Atlantic City consistently underperforms on child and maternal health measures. Is the city doing enough to improve health outcomes for vulnerable populations, and what more could be done? Mr. Khan.
I'm sorry, again?
Atlantic City consistently underperforms on child and maternal health measures. Is the city doing enough to improve health outcomes for vulnerable populations, and what more could be done?
Well, I think that's the question he should answer again. And we, as I said it before, when we come in, we're going to have a team. We're going to see what needs to be done. If a lot of people have that issue, we will resolve it. That's why we have a team. We're going to, as when I win the election, we're going to have a team, and we're going to see what problems we're going to have and what problems we have in Atlantic City, and we should address all of them.
Same question to you.
Yeah, I just take the balance of his time because clearly he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't really understand the issue and doesn't understand the question. We know that the city of Atlantic City has an infant mortality problem. We've worked directly with the First Lady, Tammy Murphy, who made that a big part of her platform as First Lady of the state of New Jersey. We have our Health and Human Services Director here, Jared Barnes, who works in that area with our partners at Atlantic Care to get those numbers down. Atlantic Care has a great program that supports mothers pre, during, and after birth and gives them the tools necessary to succeed, including transportation, food vouchers, clothes, and more. All of that stuff is in place because Mayor Small brought the Health and Human Services Department back to the great city of Atlantic City. So we are doing all we can to reverse everything that people said was wrong here in the great city of Atlantic City. And again, it's clear, being the mayor of Atlantic City, you shouldn't have training wheels. You should know how to ride the bike.
We're going to, Mr. Khan, would you like a 30-second follow-up here before we move on to, okay. We're gonna move on to flooding. Atlantic City was just hit with a nor'easter, and the risk of coastal flooding and beach erosion continues to rise. What is your plan to mitigate these risks for the city? We'll start with you, Mr. Khan.
Well, a lot of it, it's a Mother Nature. We have to give him that credit. But we have to see that how many bulk holes we have in all over the Atlantic City, and we have to see if the drain systems are working. And I want to make a statement here. One of his running on his ticket said, the educated people and the rich people have left Atlantic City because they can't deal with this problem. So now is his council at large is telling people all the dumb people and poor people are staying in Atlantic City? I don't think that's the right answer. We have to make sure all the drain systems are okay. We have to make sure all the bulkheads are proper. And yes, if still there is a flooding, there is absolutely nothing you can do, but you can try to minimize the water to come out on the street because people suffer for that. And I want to add one thing, as he said.
We're out of time here, Mr. Small.
All right, well,
same question.
Nice try of playing divide and conquer. Both my council running mates, our school board team, and myself, we're one. There's no daylight between us. Let me talk about what we've done. We've got through the federal government the Atlantis Avenue pump station right off of Georgia Avenue. We got the pump station at the old PAL site uptown. We've gotten many of the bulkheads done via a $20 million grant from the state of New Jersey. Can you imagine that being on the taxpayers? We did bulkheads in Chelsea Heights. We did bulkheads in Lower Chelsea. Under construction, not now, but right now, is the bulkhead of Chelsea. And then we're going to make our way down to Ducktown to the Atlantic City Expressway. So the small administration has shored up our resiliency here in the great city of Atlantic City, not to mention the infrastructure, fixing the bridges and paving the streets at a record number like no administration before. And today, I made an announcement that I got $5.3 million to pave Pacific Avenue in its entirety.
We're out of time here. Thank you.
Moving on.
Can I respond to that?
We'll have 30-second follow-ups each on this if you want to continue on this topic.
Okay, he went to the convention center to take a picture where all the homelesses were there. Did you go to the Iowa Avenue and the California Avenue? Did you ask the residents what they suffer in this? Because they were almost 3 feet of water in mostly everybody's house, if not a house, on the street. I was there. I saw the people were pushing their cars, and that's a major issue. You should also come and instead of taking pictures over there, you should come and talk to the residents if they need food. Did they suffer? They didn't go out for 2 days. Is people have food?
It's well over his time.
30 seconds.
All right, well, that's the difference between me and you, Mr. Khan. I'm in these streets. I'm in the trenches. Wards 1 through 6, Main to Jackson, and every neighborhood in between. I don't have to make a campaign stop. That's the only reason why you were there, because you were running for re-election. I'm dealing with people on a daily basis, solving people's problems and trying to make Atlantic City good. And when you say the areas, you're talking about Nevada, Florida, Georgia, Texas, that's been a perennial problem. But with this new pump station and improved bulkheading, it's going to get better. We'll never be able to stop Mother Nature. You just gave me credit for that, so don't try to use your own words and then be critical when I say that we're solving the problem.
Let's move on.
We're doing the job.
Redevelopment.
No, you're not.
Moving
Mother
on.
Nature doesn't solve. Okay, go ahead.
Moving on.
Thank you both.
Redevelopment. Atlantic City partners with developers and offers tax incentives such as long-term pilot agreements to attract investment. One such redevelopment effort includes the multi-billion-dollar plan for Bader Field, which includes an F1 racetrack, condos, and retail space. Mr. Small, how do you ensure that long-term tax breaks and redevelopment incentives benefit residents and neighborhoods, not just developers?
Because Bader Field will be the gift that keeps on giving. Not only will the city benefit from $3.4 billion in development, let's talk about the jobs, the contract, and a new industry. People say we need a new industry. Mayor Small is providing a new industry. It's the automotive industry. To have an automotive school to give our young kids an opportunity to learn the auto trade, which is very, very valuable. In addition to that, it puts down the rumor that no one wants to invest in Atlantic City. These people don't need Atlantic City. And at the end of the day, Bader Field is our last dream. And I'm going to manage. We skillfully negotiated $100 million sale of Bader Field, plus a $15 million commitment to build a recreation center, which we don't have, by the way, for youth and seniors here in Atlantic City. The $100 million will probably be broken up into 33 years of $3 million a year to inject for tax relief only. And it's going to more than double our rateable base, which will make Atlantic City one of the lowest tax towns in the county.
If elected, Mr. Khan, on this topic, if elected, how would you approach redevelopment incentives? Do you support the plan for Bader Field as something that's aligned with community needs, or would you push for changes?
Well, first of all, I want to say, almost 20 years, I've been hearing the casino is coming in Bader Field. Then we're saying a racetrack is coming in a Bader Field. Now we're hearing the condominiums are coming in Atlantic City. Why the last 6 years nothing has ever done? It's just talking that this is going to happen, now this development is going to come, now this investor is going to come. Why for the last 6 years? He knows, he's been mayor, and that's a major property in Atlantic City. Why for the last 6 years has been neglected? And I've been hearing all these things, that it's going to be casino there, it's going to be a racetrack. Every 6, 7, or 1 year, we see an article, oh, Bader Field is finally getting done. But why have not done yet? So I would see to believe, but I don't think it's going to get done, because we need a leadership who cares and who will make sure the investment comes in Atlantic City, because people of Atlantic City need these kind of big investments.
Thank you.
Well,
30-second follow-up on this?
I find it diabolical and crazy work at the same time that this man is running for mayor and is criticizing a $3.4 billion investment for the taxpayers. He doesn't have any relationships. He doesn't know what redevelopment means. And to say that people are not investing, and I just named major national developers, not to mention the Keith Groffs of the world, not to mention the Brian Zubecks of the world, the Mark Collazo. Atlantic City is going to experience a building boom, and it's happening under the Small administration.
See, he keeps saying it's happening. Why it's not happened?
Quick 30 seconds on this, Mr. Khan. Are you supportive of redevelopment initiatives? Just that original question. How would you approach redevelopment incentives?
We talk about the investor. You know, there was a big investor. His name is Rocco. He was doing the Hilton Casino, the old Hilton Casino. Have people seen? It's still dark there. He went away. He doesn't want to do the redevelopment because he does not feel that this mayor is gonna do the job for them. He has so many issues with the permits. You have to have business friendly. You have to give the.
Let's do last 30 seconds on this, and then we're going to move on.
There's no mayor that has been more pro-development and more business friendly than Mayor Small. Let's talk about Rocco for a second. We supported that project. As mayor, I want everyone to develop. Rocco said that the mayor is corrupt, that the construction official is corrupt. Anthony Cox has a stellar reputation in his community, and I'm offended that an outsider would come in who can't get the job done. And then he said, well, hey, forget Atlantic City. Let the state do it, since DCA inspect the casinos. Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. The state denied his permits too.
We've had a few follow-ups on this. So let's move on to the next question here.
He always get offended when it doesn't go his way.
The next question is regarding cannabis and the cannabis industry. In the last debate, we discussed the particulars of marijuana legalization. Now, just 4 years later, there are some concerns that Atlantic City may be oversaturated with dispensaries, to the detriment of the existing businesses. What is your position on this, and how would your administration balance attracting cannabis investment with ensuring the long-term success and stability of those businesses? Mr. Khan.
It's a very good question. See, again, how many dispensaries do we need in this city? We have more dispensaries than casinos. And has he talked to the residents of Atlantic City? They are fed up with this dispensary. Every corner, you have more I have a feeling very soon we're gonna have more dispensaries than the convenience stores. Everywhere is a dispensaries. We have to have a full stop on that. Okay, I'm not saying that we should close the dispensary that is already there because they have invested a lot of money. But we should not allow any more dispensaries. That's a big problem in Atlantic City. Everywhere, look at the Martin Luther King, the old Rite Aid. I was passing by, I see a sign, another dispensary. Everywhere you go, you see a dispensary. It has to end now. The residents of Atlantic City does not need more dispensaries.
Same question.
All right. You're partially right. But again, when faced with a decision, I've never smoked marijuana a day in my life. I never touched it. And I don't like it personally. But as mayor of the great city of Atlantic City, I don't govern on feelings and emotions. I took a chance on marijuana because if I would have said no, we would have had to wait 5 years. And then I ticked every mayor in New Jersey off defending Atlantic City when I said, put a moratorium on marijuana, have it in Atlantic City for 3 to 5 years. Let us get all the revenue. It didn't work. Do we have too many dispensaries? Absolutely. However, I told City Council and CRETA, we're not going to prevent people from living their American dream and cut them off at the local level. Just like you, coming from another country, living the American dream and becoming a successful businessman. That's what it's all about. It's about opportunity. And that's all we did. But however, we're going to put a cap on it, and the ones that are there will be there. And again, it's not what we want it to be.
Thank you.
But all businesses don't make it in the first 5 years.
Let's move on to the next topic. We're going to ask about addiction now. So drug overdose deaths in Atlantic County have gone down in recent years, but addiction remains a concern for the city, and many advocates say more needs to be done. What is your approach to addressing the addiction problem in the city and maintaining a downward trend in fatalities? And we'll start with you, Mr. Khan.
See, again, the drug is a big issue in Atlantic City, and I think that's why we should have more youth programs. I think from the 1st ward to 6th ward, we should have some kind of a mayor cups for basketball, for hockey, or for baseball, football. So people, instead of being on drugs, people should be, they should see each other once we should have a program. We should have a tournament every 3 months. So instead of our youth is on drugs, or our people, they're worried about the drugs, they should be more worried about how we're going to win that tournament. And as a mayor, we should have a prize for that, like maybe a $5,000 for all the tournaments. So that's the way we can resolve the drug issues. And whoever is on drugs, I think we should have facilities to see if we should take care of those people who are on drugs.
Thank you.
As a career youth professional and a taxpayer and a lifelong recreation advocate, I'm offended by your statement, as everyone in this room should be offended, that basically if our kids, our babies aren't playing sports, they're on drugs. You are severely out of touch, Mr. Khan, severely. And you would know, I see a recreation legend right here, Mr. Michael Bailey right there, who dedicated his life to PAL and the city. The city has more recreational opportunities from wards 1 through 6, Main to Jackson, in every neighborhood in between. We had a team full of kids from the 5th and 6th ward that went to a tournament in Delaware that came in 3rd place, but you wouldn't know that because you're out of touch. We got a recreation program, and as far as dealing with addiction, we put our opioids funds to great use. The first thing I did was hire a career drug counselor, Keith Dunn, to the position to help mitigate those circumstances. So we are on the ground getting things done.
On the topic of New York City casinos, Atlantic City's been bracing for this impact in or near New York City. How can the city help mitigate the potential impact Atlantic City's customer base, revenue, and also its residents who have jobs in Atlantic City casinos.
Mr. Khan, we'll start with you on this.
That's why, see, we have a major threat that the New York is opening the casinos. That's why I said it in the beginning. We should build a local economy where people don't feel danger that there's going to be more casinos. How long are we going to live in that danger? The Newark might open casinos, Pennsylvania might open casinos, New York might open casinos. That's why we have to have a strong economy in Atlantic City, that we should not worry about these things. But that's a major threat. And when the next governor wins, the Jack Ciattarelli, which I have a good connection, and we're gonna see what we can do, that we can build a stronger economy, that we don't have this fear of casinos coming in other cities or other states. That's why, again, we need to build a strong local economy, so we don't have to worry about these threats every once in a blue moon. Oh, that they're going to open another casino.
Thank you.
See, first of all, once again, this is Mr. Let me have a conversation. Let me see what we can do. This is Mr. Doing the job and doing the job effectively. And I'm offended that you just stood on this stage and said that Pennsylvania might have casinos, which they already do.
And New York
might have casinos, which they already do.
Yeah.
The threat is the new casinos. And Mayor Small showed the leadership when I penned an op-ed on the national stage that was written in the New York Daily News. And we simply said, don't believe all the promises of casino gaming, and that cities build itself, not casinos. We have a great working relationship with the Casino Association, and we all know that we need all hands on deck to fend off any competition. That's why we need to diversify what we offering, have more economy. We have marijuana, we have the automotive industry, and more. You know, offshore wind was on the table, but we know what happened with that. So these are the things that Mayor Small is doing to protect the industry and its jobs.
Thank you. And we are actually at the hour mark now, so we are going to end with our closing statements here. Mr. Small, you have 1 minute for your closing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know me. You saw me operate under COVID. When you couldn't see it, you couldn't touch it. I was the first mayor to get testing sites for local people. We fed 3,780 senior citizens 3 hot meals a week. Talking about the personal crisis earlier, I show up every day for Atlantic City. And I'm going to continue to do that because we're going to win this election, and we're going to win this election in a big way. We talked about the things that we've done, from tax relief to youth and senior programs to more, to keeping the city safe and clean, to investing in small businesses, to investing in residents' education, and more importantly, investing in human capital. So Atlantic City, it's been a great 6 years, and we need another 4 to do more. The small administration is what all your hopes and dreams are made of. So on Tuesday, November 4th, we want you to dream big, vote small, re-elect Stephanie Marshall, Pat Bailey, and elect M. Suel Ahmed, all the Democrats in column B, and school board, 1, 2, 3. And I'm Mayor Marty Small Sr.
Thank you.
Let me get my closing. I'm Mayor Marty Small Sr., and I approve this message.
Let's please hold any applause until the very end. Mr. Khan, you may begin your 1 minute closing statement. Please quiet for his closing statement.
Well, I want to tell the residents, you have seen how bad the city has run for the last 6 years. We have homeless issues. People don't feel safe, walk on Atlantic Avenue. The economy is down. That's why I'm running. If the city was doing so good, I wouldn't be standing right here. We need to build a strong economy. People need to feel safe in Atlantic City. Look at his slogan again. Vote small, dream big. People have seen what we have dreamt for the last 6 years. Now it's time for change. Please come out and vote for me, November 4, column A, all the way, school board 4, 5, and 6. And I will fix Atlantic City, that people will feel safe and people will feel proud one day that what they have chosen. So thank you again, and thank you Stockton University for hosting this event, and I will fix Atlantic City together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Khan. Thank you. On behalf of the Hughes Center for Public Policy at Stockton University and the Press of Atlantic City, I want to thank both candidates for a productive discussion of the issues. And thank you to the viewers, both here and in person. We'll see you next time. Take care.